Hello my fellow chef knives enthusiasts. In this video I'm going to show you a very rare Tetsujin knife. If you've seen the video with my Tetsujin metal flow 210mm Gyuto, then you already know a little something about the guys behind this Tetsujin brand. Toru Tamura is forging these blades and Naohito Myojin is grinding and sharpening these blades. If you did not see that video, shame on you. Nah, but I do recommend watching that video if you are interested to know more about the history and background of the amazing guys behind the Tetsujin brand of knives. The collaboration between these two young and very talented craftsmen has resulted in some truly beautiful and well-crafted knives with amazing looks and performance, making Tetsujin a force to be reckoned with in the knife world. My Tetsujin Metaflow gave me one of the best, if not the best, out-of-the-box cutting experience ever. That blade is just pure sex in the hands, and I know quite a few people that own and use a Tetsujin knife as well, who are also keeping those knives in high regard. If you don't own a Tetsujin knife and never used one before, you're pretty much missing out. There is rarely a single bevel knife leaving the Tetsujin Labo. They do make them, but not that much. Not that much at all. I for one can count the amount of single bevel knives that I have seen from Tetsujin on just one hand. And I have one of them in my hands right now. That's right. That's right. In this box we have a Tetsujin Custom Blue number 2 Damascus 300mm Sakimaru Yanagiba. Now that's not a Tetsujin knife you see every day. My heartfelt gratitude goes out to Onno de Weert, the owner of Karasu Knives here in Amsterdam. I very much appreciate the trust and the opportunity that he gave me. If you are a loyal subscriber and viewer of my videos, then you know how much of a fan I am of this little Japanese knife shop here in Amsterdam. And Onno's passion for Japanese knives, his sharpening skills, and just his overall knowledge. I feel honored to know him and to be collaborating and working together with him to bring you some really cool content here on my channel. That being said, let's go and take this Tetsujin blades out of his box and see what's so special about it. Well, what do we have here? I'm already loving this handle. Look at that beautiful blonde buffalo horn ferrule and bottom cap. The beauty of blonde buffalo horn will never get boring to me. Shout out to all buffaloes out there for growing stuff out of their heads that ends up looking mighty fine on a knife handle. I just love the look and feel of this natural material. I mean, it's gorgeous, it's durable, it's waterproof, it's easy to keep clean and all that type of good stuff. But also look at those two tsuge wood spacers on this handle as well. That's a nice touch. Tsuge, or Japanese boxwood, is often used to make a seal or printing stamp, which they call a hanko or a inkan in Japan. But in this case, it just looks pretty nice as the spaces on this handle. The dark ebony wood completes the color and material palette of this handle quite nicely. It's not too loud or too flashy, but it does look different than most conventional wa handles. And Ono told me that Hitohira told him that Taihei told Hitohira that they only made 10 of these handles. So this handle is also very limited, which is only fitting for a rare and limited Tetsujin blade. Let's put something rare and limited onto something rare and limited. That's just how it's done. You can't have something rare and limited enough these days. But yeah, very nice handle. It feels good in the hands. It's lightweight, it's functional, and it looks beautiful. That pretty much ticks all of my boxes. Now let's finally have a look at this blade. That is nice. This is nice. Even though I don't use a Yanagiba that much myself, it's kind of my favorite traditional Japanese knife. I mean, it's like the quintessential Japanese traditional knife, the king of blades, as they say in Japan. This looks like a samurai sword for the kitchen. Just look at all this beauty. That beautiful Urasuki and Uraoshi, the Damascus pattern that continues on the Ura side. This knife actually gives me Nigara Hamano vibes. Big Nigara Hamano vibes. Which is a good thing, don't get me wrong. It's a good thing, in my opinion, if your knife gives me Nigara vibes. This Damascus pattern is really, really pretty. Ono told me that the Damascus cladding was hand laminated. So Toru Tamura folded it by hand, which is, you know, it's not that easy. The pattern itself also looks pretty distinct. It just doesn't look like all the other Damascus out there. I've seen so many Damascus blades, and at a certain point, all Damascus starts to look a little bit alike. So you get to pick your favorites, and Nigara is definitely responsible for a lot of very beautiful Damascus knives. Shoichi Hashimoto, definitely one of my favorites as well. But yeah, I like this Damascus pattern a lot. I like how it is somewhat repetitive above the Shinogi line, but still very organic. And with the dark etching finish on the exposed blue number 2 core steel edge and the Damascus pattern continuing on the Ura side of the knife, it really does give me Nigara vibes. If you would put a label on this box saying that it is a Nigara Hamano knife forged by Go Yoshizawa, I'd probably believe it. And again, I mean this as a compliment to Toru Tamura's forging job on this one. I think, at least I like to use the comparison with Nigara as a compliment. What a gorgeous, gorgeous blade. This blade also has top-notch fit and finish all over. The nicely chamfered and rounded choil and spine, the beautiful white bevel, and that super crisp shinogi line. The thickness and flatness of the uroshi surrounding the concave urasuki backside on the knife is just flawless, so perfectly crafted. The spine on the knife, nice and thick, not really tapering down. There is just something about a Sakimaru tip that I really, really love. The geometry of it, you got me there. Naohito Myojin did such a fantastic grind job on this one as well. But I guess that's exactly what we may expect from him. Yeah, man, there's really nothing I can fault. Slicing sashimi with this blade will definitely be a very enjoyable experience. Unfortunately, I can't use this knife because I have to return it to Karasu Knives, of course. But hey, at least I got the chance to show you this knife. And if you are by any chance interested in buying this knife, and I don't know why you wouldn't be interested, Ono told me this knife is not, I repeat, not for sale.
This is a bummer, man. That's a bummer.
He wants to hold on to it and keep it in the store for an undisclosed time. One day this knife will be available, just not today. Just not today. I'm sorry. Don't shoot the messenger.
Don't kill the messenger, or the messenger will kill you.
Anyway, this was a really quick look at a very rare and special Tetsujin knife. I guess I have nothing more to say at this point. So I guess it's just time to stop drooling all over this knife. As always, thank you for watching this video and supporting my channel. Leave a comment down below if you want something to say or have something to ask. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye, folks.